The FiFine K669C is a very budget-friendly XLR condenser microphone. It's almost like you're getting a friends and family discount. It's so budget-friendly. But speaking of family, I did just do a review of this microphone sibling, the K669D, which is a dynamic microphone. Both of these FiFine microphones currently only cost $37. I'll be doing a full review of the K669C today, but I will also put it up against the K669D, even though they are a little different. But I will also include some other microphones to compare to the K669C, like the Audio-Technica AT2020, the MXL770, as well as a few others. There will be affiliate links in the description of all of the products included in this video with their best available prices. But for the very inexpensive price, you will get a microphone with a surprisingly good build quality in a very compact package. This microphone doesn't come with many accessories, but it does include a metal desktop tripod stand that is built pretty well. But it isn't very tall, so I'd recommend getting a different stand in order to get this microphone into an optimal position closer to your mouth and further away from potential desk noise. Out of the box, this microphone comes with a plastic mount attached to it, but the nice thing is you can take that mount off, and the threading on the microphone is actually pretty universal. And also you can use a universal clamp style shock mount. This will fit in that. But the plastic mount that does come with it has a 5/8 inch threading as well as a 3/8 inch threading, which is really nice, so you do not need a microphone stand adapter. But as I mentioned earlier, this is an XLR microphone and also a condenser microphone, so just keep in mind that whatever device you plug this into will need to supply phantom power. During the first section of this video, I have been using a pop filter, and you might look at it and say, hey, is that the Haken or Hawken P110 that's $100? No, it's actually not. This is kind of a clone of that pop filter. I'll link it down below, but I think it goes for about $15. And I will say it does work pretty well, so that's kind of the stand-in pop filter for this review. But speaking of products that I am using, currently I am going into the Focusrite Vocaster 1. This interface has been going for around $100, but I'll leave some inexpensive audio interfaces down in the description that you can go check out and see which one you like more. But now I have the pop filter off, and let's go ahead and jump into some standard tests. Right now I'm exactly 3 feet away from the K669C, and now I'm coming up on it about 2 feet away. Now I am coming up on 1 foot away from the microphone, and I'm going to get really close to the microphone. Here is the proximity effect of this mic. Fair warning, this is going to be a little loud. We're going to do some plosive tests. This is about 8 inches away. Plosive test with some pickled peanuts. 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 If you angle this microphone a little bit and put your air past it rather than going right into it, this is how it'll sound. Plosive test with some pickled peanuts. Plosive test with some pickled peanuts. Here is the background noise rejection of this cardioid condenser microphone when I'm hitting a really loud keyboard behind it. Now to really get a feel for the polar pattern, let's go ahead and do a white noise test. Now let's do my favorite test, your favorite test, Blue's least favorite test, a kitty purr test. I'm just joking, I think he likes it, he's purring, so yeah. As a quick example, here's the out-of-box sound of the K669C, and I'm going to enable some DSP on the Vocaster 1. Here is the radio setting on the Vocaster 1. It seems to dip the mids slightly and just add a little bit of bass as well as some compression. For this test, I am in an untreated room. This is the K669C. I am going to compare it to the K669D here in a minute, just to show you how a condenser microphone performs versus a dynamic microphone in a situation like this. But right now this microphone's going into the Zoom H5. Here's how that sounds. Now you are listening to the FiFine K669D, the dynamic sibling of the condenser version. Now we are back on the K669C, and during this comparison I've been about 5 inches away from the microphone. Once again, here is the K669D. These microphones are the same price, and if you are in an untreated, kind of bad sounding room, you might want to lean the dynamic way. Now let's get back into a better sounding room. Now, one thing to definitely be aware of with this microphone is it does not come with a shock mount. So if you're using a microphone stand or that desktop tripod that it comes with, and you hit the stand or you hit your desk, those vibrations can absolutely make their way up into the microphone, and it can sound pretty bad. So for instance, if I lightly tap this microphone stand, you can hear it easily makes its way into the microphone. Luckily, this microphone does fit in universal shock mounts, the little clamp style ones. I'll leave a link in the description of this one, but compared to the hard mount that comes with this, now if I hit the microphone stand with this universal shock mount on it, you can tell it's much better. It's not perfect, but it is definitely working, and I would actually say I'm hitting the stand a little bit harder now. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. These aren't usually too expensive, but you can get some nicer ones for a little bit more. Now let's go ahead and do a few guitar tests. Now I'm going to be getting into the section of this video where I compare some microphones to the K669C. As promised, I do have the K669D plugged in over here, and here's a quick sound comparison between these two. With the K669D, you are going to have to drive the microphone quite a bit more with your interface versus the condenser microphone. However, condenser microphones do tend to pick up more room noise, more desk noise, but I did just want to go back and forth with these microphones a little bit in a somewhat treated room, just so you can hear how they sound and maybe which one would work better for you. But now let's go ahead and move on to some other condenser microphones. I have the list up on the screen of what are going to be coming up, and I do also have timestamps down below if you want to jump to a certain comparison. Now we have the first condenser microphone going up against the K669C. This is the very popular Audio-Technica AT2020. For these recordings, I am using the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, and of course I will keep the same distance away from these microphones. I measure every single time. I'm going to be 8 inches away. But the AT2020 usually goes for about $100. It's been the price point for quite a while. I have seen it come down to like $74 before that, but I feel like it's usually $80 to $100. But one last time before we move on, here is the FiFine versus the Audio-Technica AT2020. Now we have the Neat Worker B2 plugged in, of course going against the FiFine K669C. Now the Worker B2 is usually $100, but I feel like it's on sale a lot of the time. As of this recording, it's actually $60 on Amazon. When I bought it, I actually bought it for $70. And as you know, of course, the FiFine goes for $37. But before we move to the next microphone, here's just a real quick back and forth between the FiFine and the Neat Worker B2. Now the next microphone I have plugged in is kind of an interesting one. This is the MXL770. And the reason I say it's interesting is that I bought it about 5 years ago, brand new. I bought it for $63. But now the price on Amazon is $86 with a typical price of like $92. So as time goes on, it's becoming more expensive. It's kind of interesting. But I feel like a lot of MXL condenser microphones definitely get mentioned in the budget-friendly price category. So I figured I'd throw the 770 up against the much cheaper FiFine K669C, but here's just one more quick back and forth between the FiFine and the MXL770. Now, I don't want to waste too much time talking about these next two microphones, but I feel like it's relevant to put them in this video. It's what a lot of people would probably consider the most budget-friendly condenser microphone. It goes for around $20. So nearly half the price of the FiFine, which is wild because the FiFine is already really inexpensive. But I do not recommend the NW700 and the NW800 that I'm about to plug in. But I just wanted to put these two up against each other, and now I'm going to plug in the NW800. Now we have the FiFine going against the Neewer NW800, and I believe the NW800 goes for like $1 more than the 700. It's that super nice, definitely real gold grill right there. Yeah. I was shocked to see them still on Amazon and that a bunch of people are still buying them. I never wanted to review these microphones, but maybe I need to put a video out saying don't buy them. But here's just a real quick back and forth between the FiFine and the NW800. Now I did want to throw in one other microphone. This is the Røde NT1 5th generation. It's actually an XLR and USB microphone, but I have it going as an XLR mic right now. And this microphone goes for $249, so it's over $200 more than the FiFine. But I just wanted to show you a quick back and forth between a little bit more expensive microphone, the NT1 versus the K669C. Now I did want to mention one other thing while I talk into the Lewitt LCT 240 Pro that goes for $120. All the microphones that are in this comparison, I highly recommend that you look for good deals used. I'm a big fan of buying used gear. Just make sure it's from a reputable seller or store. Reverb is a great option. The used section at Guitar Center's website is fantastic also. I mean, I would love it if you use my affiliate links down below, but I also understand if you want to get a better microphone and to save a little bit of money. Now let's go ahead and move on to my review section. Once again, I feel like FiFine made a very usable microphone at a very affordable price. The build quality is good, the grill is very solidly built. Is it absolutely blowing your socks off for sound quality? No. But is it completely depleting your wallet? Definitely not. FiFine does a good job of giving you high quality audio for an inexpensive price. Are there $100 condenser microphones out there that are better than this? Yes, I'm not saying this is like the best microphone sub $200 or anything, but I do think it is absolutely fair for the price, and if you like the sound of it and you think this is usable for you, I would say go for it. You're not losing much if you do. I think this microphone will work really well for a lot of beginners in a lot of different areas, from content creation to, making some demos for music. I mean, if you're a professional audio engineer, you're probably not going to use this in the booth, but hey, it's not for that. But I am impressed with what FiFine has put out for inexpensive with the K669D and the C. Both of them are incredible values, and depending on the sound that you like, just go with whichever one you prefer. Or if you need a dynamic microphone with a little bit more room rejection, go the K669D route. If you're looking for a little bit more clarity, like treble, this is definitely your mic. It is a bit top heavy, but a lot of people do love that sound. So on the BB Star, I'm going to give the FiFine K669C an 8.5. Thank you all for watching this review of the FiFine K669C. I hope it helped you out, helped you decide if you want to get one of these or not. But most of all, I hope you had fun. Stay tuned for a lot more reviews and other audio and content creation related videos coming out soon. I want to say a big thank you to you for watching this. A bigger thank you to all the subscribers out there, and the biggest thank you to all the Audio Hotline members. If you are interested in becoming an Audio Hotline member, there is going to be a monthly podcast on there that you could enjoy, possibly. Now, I do want to give a special little shout out, special thank you to an amazing member of the Audio Hotline. Pags at MEI Studio is a member of the Audio Hotline. He actually has a YouTube channel that is fantastic. He does audio gear reviews, but in those reviews, he also mentions a lot about the history of the products. It's fantastic. I legitimately am a subscriber. Now, the reason I'm giving him a special thank you is because he sent me a super special present. Would you look at that? That's gorgeous. I love it. So a very big thank you to MEI Studio. I really appreciate it. And one more thank you goes to FiFine for sending me the K669C. I hope you all enjoyed this review. I'll see you audio nerds next time.